One way to get cheap land: buy what no one else dares to reach. We picked up 160 acres way out here. No roads, no neighbors, just two ways in. Paddle 3 miles upriver or bash through bush with grit and gear. In the last episode, we hauled the tower gear upriver one load at a time through wind and rain. Up till now, we've made it in by ATV or canoe, but never both. This time we changed that. We ran the ATV 3 miles through thick bush and leave it on the land and walk back out. Now we can travel light by river and still have the machine ready to work. With the pieces in place, we raised the tower. No concrete, no crane, just ropes, steel, and northern grit. Out here, the land is wild and the roads are few, but the airwaves go where boots can't, and this is how we begin. So, I'm all packed up, ready to hit the trail up to the land. I think I'm feeling a little bit more confident that I can handle it. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna get the ATV on the land, and then I'm gonna head right back home, back to the van here. Gotta be honest, this is my bravest face. Yesterday I asked a local guide to pick me up by boat after I dropped the ATV off. He just looked at me and said, "You need to learn how to walk out. Sooner or later you're gonna have to. Might as well rip the band-aid off now." So here I am, riding in on the ATV. I felt alright. We made the clearing, laid down track. I figured the bears would understand that's our line in the sand. But walking out, alone on foot, I felt like a ham sandwich. I had anxiety, no use in denying it, but this land doesn't wait for comfort. It demands courage, one shaky step at a time. Okay, so yeah, I made it back on the land. This is kind of the clearing that we're using for home base. So, base camp, we call it base camp. We're gonna leave her here, and I'm gonna try the walk out. And yeah, it's kind of a long, I think probably about an hour and a half. Get some pictures of the route on the way, because there's some very interesting biomes that we go through. Again, so we're starting with the beaver pond biome. Yeah, if I can get back today, then we'll get the boat and come back up here and start moving stuff onto the land. So I'm pretty excited about that. Anyways, here we go. So this is the backpath poplar biome. This path was created many years ago. It's grown over, but it's passable. And the fact that the poplar trees, there's a path, like you can drive over tag alders, but you can't really drive over poplars. So I'll eventually be heading down a hill, and at the bottom of the hill is some sort of creek or stream, I'm not sure. But somebody at some point made a corduroy road. But here's the logs. And it's, you know, you're not gonna drive a car over it for sure. ATV, so now I'm on an uphill climb. Get out of this little ravine. Yeah, here's one of the places that I saw on satellite that looked bad. There's not many of them around here, right? You don't see a lot of rocks, so it's cool to see them. Anyways, this area right here, it's kind of like this big, you know, bit of the wind through the fir trees. I haven't seen any bears yet, especially not around. I think they hightail it out. Anyways, it's deceptive, but you can't go in there. You just chew through that. You see the pieces of bark, but not bark, but pieces of wood. Takes off with his teeth. Wow. Okay, so back at the vehicle. So it was exactly an hour to go from the property to the road. Yeah, so if you want to know like how remote the property is, it's basically an hour's walk to the nearest road. If it was wintertime, you have to have snowshoes then. Okay, well, time to head over and get the boat in then, and go back up onto the land. This is a prefab gate that I made for the electric fence. Anyways, yeah, up the river and the ATV's on the land, so once we get there, kind of part of the plan is to move the stuff from the river to the clearing. Okay, starting to get late. Get the ATV from base camp, and then drive it out here, and let's see about the trailer. Hopefully the trailer will make it. Then I can start loading some stuff in. So everything's here. Yeah, I don't know. So the question is, there's some dirt on here. I was like, it wasn't there. So who was that? I don't know. Wasp nest has been taken care of. Gave it a kick, nothing came out, so it's unfortunate it was in the middle of the path. But yeah, what can we do? It's just a danger. People allergic to wasps. Anyways. Okay. What a beautiful sight. Wow, that was a lot of work. But it feels good. So there's our ATV. She's on the land. So with the trailer, make this trip a lot easier, hopefully. So, well, let's get to it. I got the ATV and the trailer to the river. Real the turnaround area, which basically means I'm just gonna run roughshod over this tag alder, see if I can get out. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So, on my way back. This was our real first progress, and it felt like a turning point. We cracked the code, a way to move gear by river and by land, and now we could haul heavy tower segments for the first time, start setting up real communications. This wasn't just about getting through the bush anymore. This was the dream Becca carried: red barns, green fields, and a signal strong enough to reach a childhood a world away. We're finally doing what we came here to do, not just survive, but build with our own hands and our own kind of engineering. Got the laptop working, got Wi-Fi, and then I was able to turn on Wi-Fi calling on my cell phone, which is really cool. So now I can like video chat with Becca, and it's just super cool to be connected like this. So I'm gonna shut it down now because the generator's running, it's using gas. Okay, so essential to what we're trying to do here is to have an antenna tower that I want to set up here on the land, and get some elevation cell antenna. That's the main purpose for it, but also I got a wind generator that I like to put on the top of the tower, so we can get some energy on the land without having to run the generator all the time. That would suck. And so wind generator is a good option. You know, you do solar panels. Solar panels aren't that effective in the wintertime around here because not a lot of sun, and you need some pretty good sun. Talking about an antenna tower, but it's really a mast, and the reason for that is that to properly put a tower up, it's all raspberry here by the way, to properly put a tower up, you need about I think this tower, 4 foot by 4 foot cement pad, but about 5 feet deep. So what I'm going to do is, there's a nice poplar right there, and there's a nice one over there, and then one over here, a few nice ones over here. So kind of right in the middle of that, right about here, is a good place to do it. And because I don't have, you know, it's just not possible to bring concrete into this area. It's not going to be a tower so much as it's going to be a mast. So, well, what's a mast, you ask? You know, the difference between a tower and a mast has guy lines that keep it up, and a tower does not. So this is kind of the area I'm thinking right here where I am. So let's go over here and see. I've got these guy lines. I'm going to just install them into the poplar. So I will. So the question is, which one do I use? It looks like I can use any of them. They're strong as hell, eh? Oh, they're good. So I think what I'll do is I'll use this one here. Give it a try anyways. So, make sure. Yep. So we'll go right here. Close to the ground. What I'm going to do, we want it close to the ground because that'll not bend the tree as much. And there we go. For now, should probably go with a lock nut maybe. Maybe that's what I'll put on. So. Oh, looks like that one went through. There we go. That's 2. And then the third, I'm thinking right over here. I'm gonna drill from the back. I can always move these if one's not holding up, but these seem to be good. So if you've never put up an antenna tower before, or a mast, it'd be a good video to watch. Probably show you how not to do it, just because I've never put one up before. And trees, they got a good root system, evolutionarily developed system of anchoring into the ground. So there we go. That's the 3. And probably what I'll do now is set to measure the distances so that I can make sure I'm kind of close to the center of these 3 poplars. Okay. So let me show you what we got over here. So I just work on this tower here. So I just pulled in this this load of antenna tower, old antenna tower. So bought this antenna tower for $45. So it was used, it was already taken down, and I just watched for a good price.
The person I bought it from used a hammer to take it apart, not a jack, not a wrench, just brute percussion. Which means if I want to put it back together, I pretty much have to use a hammer too. Out here, you inherit the method along with the mess. This tower didn't look so long when it was lying in pieces, but drag it across the land and every foot feels earned. It's like hauling 100 feet of stubborn.
I'm installing the cables while the tower is still down for obvious reasons. I'll also be tying off ropes to steady it as we lift. If you want to see how bad it can go, just search hoisting tower up fail. Out here you learn from those who didn't. I used the gin pole to prop up the end of the tower. Not what a gin pole is normally for, but out here you use what you've got. It gave me the angle I needed to start pulling with the winch. Sometimes the right tool is the one that works. That's a two-man job, but out here sometimes it's just you. No one to pass the weight to. You lift or it doesn't get lifted. The trick with this kind of lift is keeping the two side ropes tight. That tower wants to swing like a weather vane, and just one person and a healthy desire not to wear a steel tower as a hat, it turns into a slow dance. Ease the steady ropes, winch a little, check your lines, one step at a time, careful, quiet, alone. Once it's up, then comes the leveling. That's when you find out how true your base really is and how honest the trees are holding their lines. You tweak, you sight, you shift, then you tighten the steel cables, drawing them firm, like tuning the strings of something old and resonant. And when it holds steady and silent, you know you've earned your next breath. We'll climb this tower to add more than antennas. We'll add purpose, a dish for the cell camera, a turbine to catch the wind, and when I climb, I'll be putting my life on the line. I'll sleep on it first, feel the cables in the night, and maybe I'll run a second set of guy wires before I go straight to the top. Because dreams are worth chasing, but they're not worth dying for.